This week's edition of Stadium Travels comes from the Halliwell Jones Stadium, home of the Warrington Wolves. So, slightly later than planned, Stadium Travels comes from the Halliwell Jones Stadium in Warrington. More news in the stadium. Well, a bit of a delayed coach trip, but we're finally in the stadium. In terms of the concession stands over there, not bad prices to be honest. Pies, opt-outs, about £3-4. Pint of Carlsberg, about £3.70, so about 7 or 8 out of 10 for concessions. Facilities about an 8 as well. In terms of programmes, this is tonight's programme here at Warrington, the game day programme. Not too sure who's on the front, I guess I'd say possibly Tom Lionel, too sure of that. £3, we'll have a bit of a read a bit later, but the programme always gets 10 as a default. So, finally arrived at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, and whether I can be heard on this or not, it's going to be an understatement. It is absolutely chucking it down. I've been to Warrington away, it's the 5th time I've been Warrington away now. It's packed. Well, you would think so for the rain, but like I say, it normally pours down at Warrington away, and it certainly is tonight as well. Listen to that! It should be Warrington versus Wigan as an 8 o'clock kickoff. Whether or not it will be, I don't know. Wigan coming out to warm up at the moment. Well, what a difference 5 minutes makes. 5 minutes ago, it was absolutely torrential rain. Now, nice and dry. So, back at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, 5th visit for me for the seniors. Obviously, I've been in the past for the academy. 191st game of the season ticket holder, 180th for Wigan themselves. 13th versus Warrington overall. Let's hope it's not an unlucky 13. 6 wins, 5 losses and 1 draw, 17 all at the DW a few years ago. Currently on a 1-game losing streak. Obviously Warrington beat Wigan a few weeks back. 19th game in 2016, which may sound a lot, but at this time last year I'd done 26. But in reaching 19, this is my 3rd highest attendance in the last 6 years. After a 125th win overall, which out of 180 games, wouldn't be too bad to be honest. 101st regular season game. There's the 42nd away game for myself. And while I'm filming, 2 shout outs. First one to Daniel Cartledge on the Sal channel. We know he's a Wire fan, he's hoping for them to win tonight. I'm not. And also a special one for a Facebooker and a fellow YouTuber, Sean Allen Spencer, who I haven't seen tonight, so I'm giving him a shout out as I promised. Well, that's both teams out warming up now. Now Warrington have turned up. The reason I delayed saying this was because there was a bit of fruity language from the Wigan fans, if you know what the Warrington chant is. Well, there's more proof of how strange the weather is tonight. It's raining again, but look at that in the distance. A rainbow. I haven't seen that at a Wigan game for a while. In fact, I think the last rainbow I saw at a Wigan game was here, a couple of years back. So, nice and bright now. It wasn't 10 minutes ago, that's all I'm saying. So as far as entertainment's concerned, at the Halliwell Jones, the Wirettes over there, routine looks pretty decent. On-pitch entertainment looks pretty decent. I'd say 10 out of 10 for this. Obviously it's still got half time to go, like, but yeah, quite happy with that. Not for the obvious reasons, of course. So, like I say, filling up pretty nicely here. Obviously filling up in the Wigan stand, as it always would do anyway, but flag wavers as well. That adds the entertainment portion. So, here we go. Weather's cooled off a little bit, you wouldn't even think it'd be raining. So, round 13 starts tonight, Thursday 28th of April here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Top of the table, Wigan and Warrington face off against each other. Hasty clashes in the past, we'll say that for nothing. So, like I say, round 13, Wigan Warrington, come on you Wigan! So, half time here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. It's not a phrase I like using much, but this season it seems to be tradition. As a Wigan fan, it's not been a good first half. So, half time, Warrington 18, Wigan 4. Nearly So, half-time entertainment is a crossbar challenge. It took ages for the build-up, and that was it. Didn't hit the crossbar. End of. Taken by the Fly Emirates Kicking Challenge. Well done, Peter. So, half-time entertainment, and this is something I've seen before. Wigan cheerleaders in a away game. So, another bit of entertainment is a dance-off between the cheerleaders. So, full time at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, and well, it's hard to really say anything positive about Wigan tonight. Full time score: Warrington 40, Wigan a very sorry 10. So that's sadly a defeat on stadium travels. Only the second of the season, but hey. So stadium travels will return with a championship trip to Dewsbury in May. That's all for April. Bit of a sad ending, to be honest, but not much you can do about it. Full time, Wigan 10, Warrington 40. As far as the ratings for the trip to Warrington, you can see we've got a new leader at the top of the list, 47 out of 50. Atmosphere, 10 out of 10. Could have been 11. Both clubs were amazing, the Warrington fans singing start to finish. Entertainment also could have been 11 if it was a possibility. Dance off with the cheerleaders of the Warrior Girls and the Widettes was quite entertaining, to be honest. Nice idea, that. Programmes, obviously the default for programme is 10 out of 10 because it's always a good read and able to purchase. That's the only difference between that and St Helens. Facilities 9 out of 10. And the only thing, I mean, I don't mind being stopped and searched, but being told I've got to stand and drink a bottle because I'm not allowed to take the cap in. There's not many clubs do that. It's just annoying, that. That's the only reason I've let that down. Otherwise it probably would have been a 10 out of 10. Taking a, you know, it's just stupid that you can take a bottle in, but you can't take a cap in. But that's how it goes. And the concessions only get an 8 because the prices were a bit steep. So, I mean, hot dog on its own, £4.10. You know, that's a bit steep, that, to be honest. But like I say, it still takes the lead of 47 out of 50. It's still quite strong, that, to be honest. Stadium travels for the next visit. I don't anticipate a new leader. It'll be Dewsbury on next Sunday. Obviously, with it being a championship ground. 40 out of 50, I think it'd be a reasonable. We just have to wait and see what happens.